It is now 6:10 and this is the 22nd of March. And this is the cluster in the woods in late afternoon. This is Toronto. You can clearly see that the cluster is not any near any light source or any kind of person with a flashlight or anything. It's hovering in that position right on top of that tree, and the tree is about 30 foot, maybe more, tall or high, and there are 3 clusters to its left, and what it's doing is cloning those clusters from itself by utilizing the orbs which are all around the glowing large hexahedron cluster, which is the nucleus for a much larger cluster of orbs all around it, hundreds of feet around it, which are rotating counterclockwise around that nucleus, and the faster they go, the more that thing will glow, and the more orbs join the nucleus, the more of these clusters it can produce on the side, on its left side, because that's where they are made. And it's done partway by cloning and partway by replication, a combination of the two. And now this is daytime. You can now say that these are street lights or any other lights, since there's nothing around there. It's just right in the middle of the woods, and that thing is right on top of that tree. It's either wedged on top of the tree and made a home there, or else it just hovers there steady for a whole month now, maybe even a month and 1 week that it's been there. So there was 3 clusters before. Now I see a 4th one forming in the back, and you can just see them exchanging the orbs back and forth, and they're doing that to increase their velocities. They're right now acting as particle accelerators, and the large one is a large particle accelerator which recharges all the orbs around it that are rotating and revolving counterclockwise around the nucleus. When those clusters on its left get a little bit larger, they're going to leave and find their own home at another tree enough distance away from this cluster, and they will start their own hexahedron cluster, and also become particle accelerators on their own on a larger scale. And when they get very large, they go up in the sky and do the same thing up in the sky. This morning I filmed one up in the sky, but it was daylight and very sunny, and therefore it didn't come out too clear, because there was too much light. If I had taken a video of it at night, it would have come out much clearer, but nonetheless I have it on video. So you can clearly see that those are the woods, and that there's nothing around that thing, not a light post, not a house, no nothing. That's part of a golf course, those woods, and there's only the golf course in those woods, and then there are houses nearby, but not that close. They're, you know, hundreds of meters away from where that cluster is. So that cluster is what's making that light, and it's not a street light or anything else people would like to believe that it is, because believing in something that's false is foolish. You can see that it's a cluster and that it's making its own light because it's in a plasma state, and so are the clusters to its left that it just produced this morning and today, and they are in a semi-plasma state, but the large one is in a full plasma state. And no one can say and tell me that that's a street light or any other man-made light. Those are alien entities, they're extraterrestrial, and they're interdimensional. And if you don't believe it, very soon you're going to have a chance to prove it to yourself when they start coming out for real. And they'll be all over the place. There are zillions of them on Earth. There are so many of these organisms that they are able to cause earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes, shifting plates, and all kinds of other natural disasters that seem to be natural, but there is nothing natural about them. These things are causing them all. And just because they look like little orbs, there are zillions of them, and they are a huge and large mass. Their mass exceeds the mass of Earth because they are in space all over the place, and there are enough of them in our atmosphere and outside of our atmosphere that they have totally cocooned us in on this planet, and the whole sky is a hologram, and they are producing it. Nothing in the sky is real anymore. All the stars you see are only glowing clusters. That's all you see at night. Don't be foolish to think that they are stars. I have filmed many of them. None of them are stars. There are only clusters and more clusters. And all the clouds are cluster formations. They are large clusters that don't have to look like a hexahedron because they're so large you can't see the hexahedron. But they're hexahedrons as well. So I'm going to back off, okay, to show you the whole area. And as you can see, there are no homes close to that cluster. It's right in the tree, or on top of that tree. And you can see the three clusters on the side morphing and teleporting other smaller orbs back and forth and increasing their velocity so that they can shoot them off and place them where they ought to be in order to serve whatever purpose they are to serve. And that's how these things work. They all have a place, they all have a job to do, and they all work together. And that's more than I can say for people. I'm going to shoot something else.